Hi, welcome back. I'm here this half with Carl Nemisek and Mary Mackey. And in this half of the program, we're going to be talking about pickleball, something that's very new to me. Carl, tell us about pickleball. Tell us first why it's called pickleball.
Well, the story goes that the family that developed this game of pickleball had a dog that chased the ball that they set their court up in their backyard, and the dog always brought the ball back when called, of course, and so it was always handy to have the dog there, and the dog's name was Pickle. And so they decided, well, let's call our game pickleball then, and it just kind of stuck, and I stayed that way. And this was developed in the state of Washington by a family in their backyard in about 1965, and started, and that's not very long ago for a game. And it's developed quite slow at first, but it has really jumped in activity in the last 15 years.
So this is a U.S.-born game.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does a pickleball look like? If we're going to play this game, what does a pickleball look like?
This is a pickleball. It's very lightweight, plastic.
Similar to a wiffle ball.
Similar to a wiffle ball.
Okay.
And we play it with a paddle, and you can hold your ears up, Janet. We play it with these paddles and hit the ball back and forth across the court. And so it's a sort of like a combination of tennis and badminton, some people like to compare it to. You just bounce the ball back and forth, of course, and it's a very easy game to learn if you've ever had any hand and ball-eye coordination going on. So it's on a badminton-sized court, and but it's more like a tennis game, we feel. And anybody that certainly has played tennis finds it pretty quick to pick up the ball. You have to learn the bounce of this ball compared to a tennis ball, of course. It's slightly different, but with hand and eye coordination, that comes pretty quickly.
And there's a net?
There is a net, just like in tennis, down across the court. The net is 4 to 6 inches lower, depending which point you measure it at. The center is 4 inches lower, and the posts are 6 inches lower than tennis. But it is, we often call it our tennis net, but it's made specially for the pickleball court. The pickleball court is smaller than a tennis court, quite a bit smaller. If people know badminton, and I don't know that game well, we get to see it in the Olympics a little bit sometimes, but otherwise we don't get to see much of badminton. The court is smaller, and so the net isn't as wide, of course.
So as I understand it, the court is the same size as a badminton court, but the net is more similar to a tennis net.
Yes.
The height of a tennis net.
That's right.
Okay.
I wrote down the height of the net here. The tennis net is 42 inches high on the sides, and the pickleball net is 36 inches
so
on the side.
It's a little lower.
Just a little lower.
Easier to get the ball over.
Yeah. Well, right, but still get it in the proper court on the other side.
Right. So interestingly, here at Green Spring, we play pickleball. We can play pickleball inside.
Well, that's right.
Which is pretty exciting. Climate-controlled exercise.
Certainly with that hot weather we had this summer, being indoors was very helpful.
Yes.
Now, indoors here has one disadvantage. It's not a huge room, so we have a ceiling that limits hitting the ball up in the air very high. We call that lobbing in tennis or pickleball, where you hit the ball over the head of the player, maybe. We don't have a lot of room to lob, but it's still, the advantages of being indoors all summer outweigh that little disadvantage. Right.
Yeah, we have to set up the room. It's the Akatink room. So we have to put tape down to measure everything.
To measure the court.
Yes,
well,
measure
to mark the service court and so forth.
And then how do you set up your net?
Well, we bring it out and unroll it and put the posts down.
You have posts.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's great. How many people play?
4. We
No, how many people at
Oh.
Green Spring play?
Oh, geez.
There's about 25 right now that are
A lot.
playing, and we see a few off and on beyond that. But and there, we don't require people to come every meeting because we play 3 mornings a week. Very
Okay.
active group here.
You do have an active group.
Right. We play Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, and Saturday morning.
Okay.
And we start at 8:30 with the inexperienced group or those wanting to learn, because they can't go out and hit the ball right away. So we have an hour where we try to teach the game to newer people. Then the experienced players come about 9:30 and play till 11 o'clock. And it's a very active program, and we just all love it and enjoy it.
Well, that's nice to know that those who don't have experience can get some help and learn how to play.
Yeah, I arrived in October, and I think it was November I was told about it. So I had never seen it actually at all.
I'd never heard of it, no.
Yeah, and so I do play tennis, so it seemed like it'd be kind of similar, and it was really fun to just catch on and play with the people, particular people that are there on a regular basis.
That's good. Now,
it's
is
nice.
you're not organized into teams or anything like that? You don't have like a tournament or?
No, we're there for fun and exercise
And that's good. So
enjoy
not so
the game.
serious.
But, right, we don't list winners. We don't keep a ranking of any kind. We mix up the players constantly. And to go ahead.
Well, we play till 7, the points of 7, so that there's
Okay.
more chance of more people participating.
That's good, yeah. I know, having just been glued to the television set for the Olympics, we're getting up to 21 for some of those. I have a couple more questions. Are there any special shoes involved?
Just
Just
tennis
regular
shoes,
tennis
regular-
shoes, gym
yeah,
shoes,
that'd be
kind of
fine,
things?
yeah.
How physically fit do I have to be for this game?
Well, a number of people who can't play tennis anymore
Can play pickleball.
gone to pickleball.
Okay,
yes.
that's good to know.
Our oldest player is 90 years old right now.
Good.
And so you can play it a while if you are
That's good.
in a reasonable health, of course.
That's good.
And it's really good for reflexes, getting you to
Yeah.
get back to, adjusting very quickly. I mean, I think it's very healthy for you for driving.
If I just want to try it out, could I come down and perhaps borrow someone else's equipment just to
Absolutely.
try?
Oh,
Okay.
definitely. We invite
We
people
have-
to come by and
Okay.
maybe watch the first time if they're not brave enough to come and play that first time. But
Yeah.
then we're happy to let them out.
Yeah,
And
just-
yes, we have these paddles available
Okay.
there. And
The challenge for pickleball is keeping score, because you have to give one score and the opposite score, and then who's playing first or second. It really keeps you
Focused, huh?
focused and
good.
keeping your mind moving. We need to work on that.
I have one other question. If I get into this, where do I buy the equipment? At
well,
a
there's
sporting
lots
goods
of stores now. There's even special pickleball stores that you can go
my
to
gosh.
today. It's become that popular.
It's a whole other industry.
But many tennis shops would carry it also, and sporting goods.
Dick's
stores.
has it.
Okay.
I know that.
Well, this has been very educational. We thank you for coming. And Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings.
Mornings in the Aquatink Room.
Beginners at 8:30.
Yes.
So you invite anyone who's interested to come on down,
sure
observe,
do.
join in.
Join in
It
the
sounds
fun.
like you have
And the group also has 4 social events a year, so it's not
wow.
all play. So we
So
do
it's
get
a little
together
party on the
socially
side.
too, right?
Well, that's good. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and we have a few announcements to make before we leave you this morning. Today on Channel 6,